Hey everybody, and good morning. It is Saturday morning, May 27th, 2017. Going to keep this hopefully pretty brief this morning, a holiday weekend in effect here in the States. Hope everybody has a great weekend planned, but in conjunction with the Trading After Dark theme, the rest of the world will go on during Monday. So even though the equity markets are dormant and the futures markets for the S&Ps, for example, only open until midday on Monday, we still have the rest of the world going on. So we'll see how that takes place. I want to recap a little bit about what happened this week, reinforce a few things for the Trading After Dark team, as well as those folks that are listening, and also talk about some of the evolutions and things that we're going to be doing going forward in the room. So I thought the past week was, again, reinforcing the fact that most of the clean opportunities, the easiest opportunities in the trading world, come well outside of the U.S. Trading session, RTH, regular trading hours. We did certainly get some opportunity, more than normal, in the U.S. RTH session over the course of the week. I'd say there were maybe 2 days, but certainly one day, which was Thursday the 25th, after Asia had moved nicely, where there could be some opportunity there. I thought the midday pullback to VWAP was a good opportunity, and then the ending day catcher's mitt, which played out into the Asia session and then into Friday's European Open, was really solid. So I thought Thursday was good from a U.S. RTA session, but by and large, the rest of the time, again, continues. The best opportunities to trade, the best opportunities to position for investments are at the U.S. market close, the reopen, the Nikkei Open, the Shanghai Open, and the European Open, and in that order. European midday as the U.S. Open market starting to open up some opportunity there. And there was some opportunity yesterday in terms of the market moving us down a little bit. We held the 2410 support several times throughout the night. Great opportunities, and then pushed through that just by, I think, 2 points or so before GDP, before the move back up again with the strong supports to the south. So there's an opportunity there. Again, pre RTH Open, where you actually had prices down in the 2408 area. That was the best opportunity. Once the U.S. market opened the regular hours, you're back into the cowboy market and very, very difficult to trade. So I thought this week was, again, a good reinforcement. I'd say at least 3 out of the 5 days, the best and only real opportunities to position high probability with size, get ahead of the game, stay outside of the noise, was outside of the U.S. RTH session. So that's been our focus. That continues to be our focus. The room was active during the move, the strong move Wednesday evening, our time, after the U.S. market, which had been coiled between 2390, 2400, had actually broken above, finally held above at close, and then Asia took us up, and we were all sitting there watching and discussing and trading the move. In terms of the quick spike toward 2410, 2412, I think it was, off of the 2402 close in 2403. That was an interesting. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you everybody had it positioned and took advantage of it. It was an interesting sequence because we talked a lot in our wrap-up session for the day, in our prep session for the evening and the next day, which is at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We actually talked about how the U.S. market closed. We talked about the coil. Actually had entries at 2403. As the market closed, we noticed that the mid level, which you would normally have, the market would actually come in a little bit further. We didn't get it, so the entry is a little bit higher. We noticed that Nikkei was ranging. It didn't move. It wasn't dropping further. It didn't move. It was holding supports, and then Shanghai opened and took us up. So it was interesting to talk about trades that were done for the most part, aside from the end of day positioning, for the most part after the move occurred. So the move occurred, spike up back down to 2407-ish, and that's when most of the folks actually were able to get their entries in. Some of us were caught a little bit off guard in terms of the immediate action. But it was all about reacting to it once it did happen. So several of us got the shorts off at 2410, 2412, traded back down to 2407, and then back up. So we were quite active during that time. It was interesting, actually rewarding in terms of at least being able to be present during those times. And so it is. I want to put a call out to European traders in terms of if you are interested in being a part of this, we are experiencing a growing number of people who are trading the European hours. I say European traders who are trading the European hours, who are in time zones and parts of the world that make that easier. So if you're interested, please, we'd love to have you. It's a growing community, and there's a growing focus on that. Again, the idea continues to be, connecting traders during these times, preparing traders ahead of time for these times, and limited interaction over the course of the trading day to allow you to focus, but continuing to have the tether there and the ability to talk about real pertinent events that are going on. Again, it's not a traditional chat room. It's not something where you're just going to see chat. There's no record of the chat. Intentionally, we are using Zoom. We are not using Slack at the moment intentionally. It's as if, again, if you come into a room in a normal prop shop or in a normal environment, you interact while you're in that room. And when you leave that room, there's no record of that. It's just the business that's going on at the time. So, again, we found that to be helpful and useful in terms of keeping all the clutter out and keeping people focused on trading. I said last night to the group that the end game here is to make sure that people's profitability is enhanced, and that's the ultimate goal, and that's what we're after. So that means strict focus on trading over the course of the day, but huge preparation ahead of time and huge debriefing at the end of the day, and certainly being there in a group in a supportive environment. And so again, we continue to tweak some things. We've got some good things also coming in terms of one of our guys is very, very much involved in mechanization. So we're really going to take the cumulative delta work that we continue to monitor and all the great stuff that Charlie Cocker and Peter Nanis have done, and expand that even further in terms of auto trading, in terms of alerts. So there's a lot of good stuff there. We've got a very strong group of seasoned and some big fund guys as well from the fund industry, which it's just coming about really, really nicely. And again, I appreciate everybody who's been involved. But again, if you're interested in able to trade the Europe session, it's fascinating because we even have people on the West Coast in the States, trading the European Open. So where the European Open is 3 a.m. my time, Eastern time, it's midnight for the folks on the West Coast. So what we've got is we've actually got some guys, staying up just a little bit later, maybe into the 1 o'clock time frame, and boy, there's your opportunity right there. There's your opportunity because again, the most fertile time, I think the two most fertile times. Well, I know the two most fertile times continue to be when the Europe opens and triggers, and when Europe does its midday thing, usually the end of the morning trade, the capitulation, even if it's mini, and then the U.S. kind of takes over. And so if you're able to take advantage of that, even on the West Coast in the States, that's something that we are focusing on. I'm adjusting my sleep schedule for the first time in a long time so that I'm able to get up earlier, so that I will be at the market at typically 5 to 6 a.m. While Europe is in motion. But the most important thing is to prep ahead of time. And there will be times where I will actually stay up over the course of the evening until the European Open. I'm going to work on those times, especially when the opportunity is right. Again, I want to reinforce the market action from Thursday night, because if you look at the charts, you had a nice trend day in the U.S. session on Thursday. You actually traded up to toward the end of the day. You had a late day spike to 24.17 before coming back all the way to 24.12 at the close. And actually, when Asia opened, we got down toward 24.10. Or when the U.S. session reopened. So, you had strong support at 24.10 all day long. That's the catcher's mitt, the cute term that we are using for late day support, late day entries based on those folks who have to liquidate positions over the course at the end of the U.S. day session. They're dumping positions, and the idea is you get a mitt basically to catch that. Use your own terminology, but it continues to reflect the fact that there's a great wholesale opportunity to make purchases. And then position that for the future move. So, it was certainly wonderful to see. If I just turn my chart real quickly here to a 24-hour chart. So we ended up closing, let's see, the 25th, right? Right. So we had the nice strong trend day. We come down, we close. U.S. RTH closes just about 24.12, and by let's see, by reopen at 6 o'clock p.m. Just before 7 p.m. we came down nicely toward 24.10, and then held that. Had one opportunity in the Nikkei, and then actually had a better opportunity after Shanghai opened. Got a little bit closer to support, and then the market basically held there until Europe opened. And what does Europe do? Europe takes us back right up toward 24.17, 24.15. So, you're not going to get all that, obviously, but let's just call it 24.11, 11.5 maybe, up to 14, 3.5 points, which is probably about 75% of the move. Based on the rhythms that we talk about. And kudos to the guys in Europe who traded that, who are getting the hang of that. And then again, with the U.S. session opening, a couple of bounces off at 24.10 for some trades, and then your move pre-GDP down toward 24.08 before the market does what? Trades back up to 24.15. So again, the rhythms are there. They're clear. It was very again heartening to see those taking advantage of it. And kudos to you. This has nothing to do about me, nothing to do about anything other than the fact that you are understanding things and you're seeing things and you're starting to build muscle memory. That's the key. Start to build muscle memory so that you can have such confidence and conviction in these and take advantage of putting money in your pocket and not in the broker's pockets. Okay. Keep your trading very, very limited over the course of the U.S. session. Don't fall into the trap of just because there's a lot of movement, that there's action. You got a lot of action junkies out there that the U.S. Brokers and U.S. markets cater to. Fish when they're biting, when it's calm. I say calm in terms of a sneeze here. Excuse me. There's a first, right? It's a first. Fish when the fish are biting and the rhythm is there, but you're not in the cowboy market. And that's what it's about. It's not about putting money in the broker's pockets. It's not about action. It's about preparing for the action and just wading through it, watching through it, managing through it with ease. So please learn from the lessons that I have learned. Learn from the lessons, the mistakes that I have made. Too active during the day session. So I'm going to leave it there. Again, have a great weekend. If you're interested in the European hours, please contact me, Trading After Dark. Check out the previous posts, going very well, making it real simple and affordable for people to get in there. It's all about putting money in your pocket. I love you all. Have a great weekend. We will catch you folks Sunday night. No session Monday evening. We'll restart the formal recaps Tuesday evening, but the room will be open Sunday night all through Monday and Tuesday. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Take care. Bye.